We are kickstarting this bulletin with some breaking news coming in. Top sources have told WION that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to have a bilateral with US President Donald Trump on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit, which begins in Manila on Monday. Sources say Modi might also have a bilateral with the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. According to sources, Modi will make a big pitch for investment at the ASEAN business meeting. He could possibly meet Malcolm Turnbull of Australia. The official level meeting of the Quad among India, US, Japan and Australia will be held on Sunday. On a lighter note, Modi will be present between Abe and Chinese Premier Xi Jinping, so Modi could well shake hands with the Chinese leader, although no formal India-China bilateral has been planned yet. That's the latest. For more on this, I'm joined by WION correspondent Ramesh Ramachandran, who's joining me live from Manila and getting us all the comprehensive updates from that big ASEAN summit. Good morning, Ramesh. Please give us the latest information that you're breaking for us. Sources are telling WION that Prime Minister Modi could be meeting Donald Trump and Shinzo Abe for bilaterals.
Yes, good morning to you as well. This is what we've been learning from our sources in the Indian Foreign Ministry, that Prime Minister Modi can be expected to hold bilaterals with at least 7 or 8 world leaders. But the only bilateral confirmed so far is with President Duterte and President Donald Trump of the US. As you mentioned, he is expected to meet Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan and could also possibly meet with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. But that is still a work in progress. Sources telling us that he just might have a meeting with Turnbull as well. Remember this, the Prime Minister Modi will be seated among world leaders under the same roof for over 2 days on the margins of the ASEAN and East Asia summits. So he can well be expected to hold bilateral and polar sides with many of these world leaders. And it will not come as a surprise because Prime Minister Modi will be seated between Prime Minister Abe and Chinese Premier Li Keqiang. So he could well have at least a handshake with the Chinese Premier on the margins of those summits. But that aside, the biggest, the news at the moment is that tomorrow there'll be a meeting of the quadrilateral among India, the US, Japan and Australia here on the margins of the summit. Tomorrow it will be represented by the officials from all 4 sides, and it will come after a gap of more than a decade. The Quad was first launched in 2007 at the instance of Prime Minister Abe of Japan. But then we saw Australia drop out of the quadrilateral, and if the meeting takes tomorrow here in Manila, it will be for the first time in a decade that the Quad will be revived.
Right. Ramesh, before I let you go, one quick question. What is the significance of this year's ASEAN summit? What is the agenda and what's the main theme behind today, this ASEAN summit 2017?
Well, India has invested heavily in the ASEAN region, and as it turns out, ASEAN has turned 50 this year, and India is celebrating the silver jubilee of the 25 years of its association with ASEAN region, and therefore to that extent it will be significant, high on symbolism and substance alike. Prime Minister Modi will be meeting a host of ASEAN leaders here in Manila on the margins of the ASEAN and East Asia summit. Will also make a big pitch for ASEAN investments in India as part of India's Make in India program, and also in light of recent reports about India's ease of doing the index, which has improved over the years. So clearly, economy, political issues, security will be high on Prime Minister Modi's agenda as well here.
All right. Thank you so much, Ramesh, for that comprehensive update. So that was WION's correspondent who was bringing us up to speed with the latest. Top sources are telling WION that Modi and US President Donald Trump could have a bilateral at that ASEAN summit.